Welcome to Pigeon River Farm, doing farming right. I'm Robert Brown, the owner of Pigeon River Farm. Thank you for viewing. Well, good evening. In tonight's episode, we're going to talk about vitamin D and its effect on our health. Well, specifically on our health pertaining to eating eggs. On Pigeon River Farm here, what we do is we actually winter our poultry over in the Hightunnel. So really, 365 days a year, the birds have access to sunlight. Of course, during the summertime, it kind of speaks for itself. They're out on pasture, following the chickenmobile, and they're getting full sunlight. You know, we're getting up to pretty close to 18 hours of sunlight there at the summer equinox. And by the time we get into the fall or winter, once we get to winter time, December 21st, at that point there, we can be down to just around 8 hours of sunlight. Well, we try to figure out a way of best utilizing what sun we have available. And what we've done since 2011 is we've actually put the birds into our Hightunnel during the winter time. Well, now we have 2 Hightunnels in conjunction with a layer barn in between. And the birds are normally brought in there coming up right about now. So in November of the year, we go ahead and we put the birds in there, and then we actually allow them to take advantage of all the greens that are inside there that we've had, all the leftovers. They do a lot of cleaning for us. Additionally, our main focus is on the vitamin D. The vitamin D is so critical for the bird's health, and we want that to occur. We want these birds to be healthy and lively. But one of the end results are the vitamin D that resides in the egg. It can't get in there if it doesn't have any means. There is some synthetic versions. There's actually some very good natural versions. But natural sunlight is your absolute best option for vitamin D, getting it through your food. And as we've talked before, metabolically, in other words, ability, and my belief is metabolically you can get in the highest dosage of nutrients through an egg. Your body just simply can absorb an egg more efficiently than virtually any other food sort. So if it's not in the egg to start with, there's no way that it can possibly do you any good when you're buying store-bought eggs where birds are raised in artificial light. And trust me, the artificial light they're using is not full spectrum lights, or i.e. grow lights. They are simply cheap lighting source for the birds, and the birds see no sunlight. Even the ones that say cage free and so on, you have to look into that. Most of them birds are simply allowed a small little access to outside. When you got 100,000 birds into a barn, how many can actually get out that little door? So they hit the letter of the law. In our case here, our birds have full access to the outside. So even in the harshest conditions, if they choose, they can still go outside. They're never locked down, excluding at night. During the day, they can go out, and they will go out and scratch in the pasture. I've seen them out there in January, and we don't have a heavy snow cover. But the most important portion is actually the sunlight. When you get full sun in the Hightunnel, you have approximately, with the new plastic, you're around 95% of the sunlight will still make it through the plastic for the birds to absorb not only the temperature, but that high quality vitamin D. So let's all remember, especially with the whole issue now with the sickness that's going around, we need to be aware of this and to keep sure our bodies are fortified with vitamin D. And if you can find a good source of vitamin D in a plant or animal protein source, it is absolutely the best way to go. I'd highly, highly recommend it. Nothing wrong with supplements. They are very beneficial, but make sure in that domain, just like when I buy the minerals and all the products for the farm, I do my research. I make sure the source that I purchase the product from, I try to track it all the way back to its origin. And I think it would be a good idea for anybody with the current health conditions out there to do the same thing. Make sure you source back all the way what you are consuming. So with all that said, I appreciate your time and have a most wonderful evening. Thank you.